Hello there and welcome to Cartooning with Paul. Today I'm going to show you how to draw the Phantasm from Batman the Animated Series. So come on, let's get started. Alright guys, like I said, we're going to draw the Phantasm from Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And how awesome is it that you guys have been requesting this quite a bit. I just hadn't gotten around to it. So, before it gets any later, let's draw the Phantasm. Okay, now, before we get started, I have to figure out the proportions for the body, right? So I'm going to have the Phantasm facing this direction, this way, over here. And notice that I'm putting in a head shape. I'm not drawing in the mask, not yet. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out how we're going to throw this in. So I'm going to throw in a line for the shoulders, like this. And if it's angled kind of like this, I'm going to throw in a counter line for the hips, kind of like that. That's for balance, right? Now, before we get into any of that, I've got to measure to make sure that I've got the right height here. So the Phantasm, because it's wearing a helmet, that helmet is oversized. So it's really about 6 heads tall. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The ground is down here. The waist, I figured that out correctly just by eyeing it, which is lucky. It's not really luck if you've been doing it so long. It just becomes natural. All right, now I'm going to throw in a triangle here for the upper part of the torso, right? And I'm going to throw in an oval like this, and I'm going to now I'm going to throw in a rib cage shape here, and then from there I'm going to kind of figure out the leg. Now, of course, the knee is going to go in the exact center of the floor line and the hip. So I figured that out all right. I'm gonna just throw in a leg shape there like that. And actually, I don't like that one at all. I'm going to angle that leg back a little bit. The back leg is going to be down here like that. I drew in a center line. I didn't draw in a line of action. It's always important to properly figure out posing and throw in that line of action for balance. But I didn't do that there, so now I'm paying the price. So we've got one leg like that. We've got another leg, and this one is going to be straight up and down. It just gives a better pose. We're not drawing in an action pose here. We're going to throw in kind of an establishing pose. I don't have any model sheets for Batman Mask of the Phantasm. If anybody does, or can tell me where I can find some, I would be very appreciative. We'll figure that out later. Because then the other one, going to go out like this. Okay, so we're really just posing right now, right? The arm, we got the bottom of the rib cage here like this. Elbow will line up there like so. So what I'm going to do is figure out Bruce Timm arm like so. Yep. Perfect. The hand would go here if you saw one. All right. Now notice it's not a straight line up and down because we've got this great big gauntlet, and that will change designs a little bit. We'll worry about that in a second because we are still putting in the pose. Elbow. Fist. Cool. Now, I'm going to fill in the rest of the body. Now, as you know from watching the film, and if you haven't watched this film, as soon as you're done with this video, pop it in the Blu-ray player. The costume for the Phantasm is like a big black bodysuit, right? There's absolutely no definition to the suit at all. It's just all one big black mass, right? And then Phantasm has boots and a cowl that drapes right over the front of the character's torso. Okay. Okay, so the cowl will come down and drape off the shoulders like this. It's one big triangle and then triangles over the shoulders. And then we'll go back into it and we will give like tears into the fabric like this. And don't be afraid to have those frayed corners going in different directions. It gives it more character, right? So if you haven't seen the film, don't worry, I'm not going to put any spoilers in this episode because you need to watch this for yourself. The reveal of who this person is, it's pretty cool. But the very first time I watched it, I was so sucked into the story. I mean, I was at the edge of my seat. I paid full admission, and all I used was the edge of the seat. So what we have here is the only theatrical release of an animated feature for Batman. Everything else was put direct to video. This actually was originally supposed to be a direct to video, and the studio demanded that they try to get some box office sales off of it. Unfortunately, they didn't really promote it very well, so very few people actually went to watch it, which is a shame because I think Batman Sub-Zero would have been great on the big screen. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of finish line here throughout the body, and then from there we'll go back into the head. Let's throw in those boots. So the boot comes about mid shin, okay, and it's going to have a little bit of fraying at the top because the Phantasm is supposed to look like something that has risen from the dead and is punishing the gangsters of Gotham City. But he's not only punishing them, he's ending them. So Batman is trying to figure out who he's going to attack next before his detective skills zero in on the most likely suspect. In the meantime, Gotham City has no idea who this character is and wrongly accuses Batman of this extra vigilantism. It's up to Batman to solve who it is and stop them before they get him into even more trouble. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put in the gloves, which go up mid-forearm and comes out a little bit. And then I'm just going to give a bit of a fist here. And now on the other arm, we're going to give a nice thick gauntlet, like so. The top part here is gray. The rest of it is like steel. Right here. Let's get rid of these guidelines here because we're going in. All right, now from here, going to be shaped a little like a rounded bullet. And now for the fun part. Just very lightly draw in a bit of a point here. And then on the other side, I'm going to draw a nice big, almost like an axe. Here we go. All right, now we'll come back up here. I'm just going to shade this in a little bit here so we can differentiate one form over another. All right, now I'm ready to go into the head and give the Phantasm that awesome mask. So now I drew in the head so I'd have a placeholder, right? But here, let's throw in a line for the eyes. Now I can throw in, and I'm actually going to move the head over a little bit because I see where I positioned it. We're going to throw in Batman-shaped eyes. Like so. In place of the nose, we're going to give it a very skull-like open nostril look right there, like that. And now I'm going to throw in the cheekbone shape on either side because it's going to look very much like a skull. Like this. Hopefully you guys are forgiving the position of the head and how I'm moving it over. It's for the better of the drawing, trust me. And now up here, where the teeth of a skull would go, we've got 3 vented openings here, just like that. Just 3, not too wide. You want to make sure they're the same height. And I'm going to give a nice thick outline right here. And finish in the jaw shape, just like that. Kind of looking like a hockey mask at the moment. Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtles show. But we're going to fix that right now. That gets in his way. Now you notice a couple times I've already said I'm not spoiling the identity of the Phantasm because that was actually done in the 90s thanks to Kenner Action Figures. But honestly, if you haven't seen it yet, just watch the movie. Don't spoil it for yourself. It's a lot better when it's revealed the way it's supposed to be. Let's see. All right, so we've got that. Fill in the back of the head here. Some extra fabric there. And the top of the hood. Okay. The Phantasm uses a lot of smoke to vanish without a trace like Batman does. No wonder Gotham City thought that they were dealing with Batman. Nobody got a good look at the Phantasm until Batman unmasked the real culprit here. So I'm just going to give it more shadow here. You want to give some shadow around those eyes so that they glow. And this right here, the shadowing above the eyes, that's all black. Black all the way around the mask. And here, let's give that hood a little more personality here. I don't like that here. Let's see. Yes, that's better. Okay. And there we have it. Guys, if you like videos like this, I've got more just like them right here. I want to thank you guys so much for drawing with me today. And until the next video, we will see you later.